What if your success was determined before you even knew how to spell your name? Imagine two kids. One becomes a CEO, the other struggles their whole life. And the difference? Not talent, not effort, but the month they were born. That's not a conspiracy. It's what Malcolm Gladwell uncovered in Outlier, and once you see the patterns, you'll never look at success the same way again. Because maybe you're not behind because you're lazy. Maybe the system was never designed for you to win. Let's pull back the curtain. Everyone loves the idea that success is fair, that if you work hard, stay focused, and want it bad enough, you'll make it. But what if that's the very thing driving you, is actually what's holding you back? Malcolm Gladwell's Outliers flips the entire success story on its head. He argues that the world's most successful people aren't just brilliant or driven, they're positioned. They benefited from invisible advantages most of us never notice. It's not about hustle, it's about hidden systems, such as the year you were born, your family background, your culture, and even the extent to which you're allowed to question. Think about that. You might be comparing yourself to people who are never playing the same game as you. This video isn't just a book summary, it's a mirror. One that will show you how opportunity works, and why the odds feel stacked, even when you're doing everything right. If you're tired of the success is just mindset advice and want deeper truths like this, hit subscribe, because what you'll discover next might change how you see your entire life. The birth month trap, hidden advantage number 1. In Canada, if you want to be a professional hockey player, you have to start early. Like early. Scouts start selecting kids for elite teams around the age of 9. But here's the twist. When researchers studied the birth dates of top Canadian hockey players, they found something shocking. Over 70% of them were born in January, February, or March. Not because kids born in those months are more talented, but because they're older. You see, the age cutoff for youth hockey is January 1st. That means a kid born on January 2nd is playing in the same group as a kid born on December 30th, even though they're nearly a year apart. At the age of 9, a 12-month advantage is substantial. The older kids are slightly bigger, faster, and more coordinated, so they get picked for better teams. Better teams mean better coaches, more ice time, more confidence, and the gap widens year after year. That's the Matthew effect in action. The rich get richer, and the poor get poorer. But here's the real kicker. Most of those January-born players don't even realize they had an advantage. They think they just worked harder. And the ones born in December, they grow up thinking they just weren't good enough. This doesn't just happen in hockey. It happens in school, sports, music, and even business. Your birth month could have decided what path you were even allowed to walk down. Still think success is only about talent and hard work? Then wait until you hear how Bill Gates became a tech giant, not because he was special, but because he was early. The 10,000-hour illusion, why practice isn't fair either. We've all heard it. It takes 10,000 hours to become world-class at anything. But here's what most people miss. Not everyone gets the chance to practice for 10,000 hours. Take the Beatles. Before they became global legends, they played night after night in Hamburg, Germany, sometimes for 8 hours straight. By the time they hit mainstream fame, they'd performed over 1,200 live shows. That's more than most bands do in a lifetime. Or consider Bill Gates. People love to say he was a genius. But here's the untold part. At the age of 13, Gates attended a private school, one of the few in the entire country with access to a computer terminal in 1968. Not just any computer, but one connected to a time-sharing system, giving him unlimited programming hours, years before most universities had them. He wasn't just smart, he was early. He was positioned to put in 10,000 hours before the rest of the world even got started. Now here's the uncomfortable truth. You can be just as talented, just as motivated, but if you didn't have early access, you're already behind. This isn't an excuse, it's a reality check, because talent is overrated, access is underrated, and if we keep glorifying grind culture without talking about who gets the privilege to grind, we're lying to ourselves. So the next time someone tells you, you just need to work harder, ask them this: did Bill Gates work harder? Or did he start from a launchpad you never had? And that brings us to something even deeper. What if your own culture is limiting your success without you even realizing it? Cultural blind spots: how respect can kill progress. In 1997, a Korean air flight was preparing to land in Guam. Weather conditions were rough but manageable. The plane never made it. It crashed, killing 228 people. The black box recording revealed something chilling. The co-pilot noticed the danger. He tried to warn the captain, but he did it too softly, too indirectly. Why? Because in Korean culture, deep respect for authority is expected, especially in high-power distance environments like aviation. Instead of saying, "You're making a dangerous mistake," he said something like, "Perhaps we should consider a different approach, sir." It was too late. The plane crashed. This tragic event sparked a thorough investigation and ultimately a significant cultural shift in aviation communication protocols. Co-pilots were retrained to speak directly and urgently, regardless of who they were speaking to. But this isn't just about flying. It's about how culture silently shapes your success or your downfall. Where you grew up, what language you speak, and how your society handles disagreement. These factors influence how you lead, negotiate, ask for help, or challenge poor decisions. You might think you're being polite, but in some situations, that politeness could be costing you your future. Gladwell's point is clear. We are not only products of our effort, we are products of cultural legacies we didn't choose. So ask yourself, is your culture pushing you forward or holding you back in ways you've never questioned? And if that made you uncomfortable, good. Because the next insight might just shake your idea of earned success to its core. Let's talk about luck, privilege, and the illusion of merit. The myth of merit: why success is often a gift. Success loves to wear a suit of merit. We love stories where people earn it, where the self-made millionaire pulled themselves up by their bootstraps. But Outliers forces us to confront something uncomfortable. Most of the world's success stories are built on invisible gifts. Let's go back to Bill Gates. Yes, he was smart. Yes, he worked hard. But he was also born in 1955, part of a tiny generational window that hit the computer revolution at the perfect time. If he had been born 5 years earlier, he would have missed it. 5 years later, too late. Same with Steve Jobs, same with Paul Allen, a freak cluster of tech icons all born between 1953 and 1956. Was that hard work, or was it timing? Now zoom out. Think about where you were born. What language do you speak? What values did your parents teach you? Whether your school had books or a broken heater. These aren't choices. They're the starting conditions of your life. And they silently define how far you can go before effort even enters the conversation. That doesn't mean success is meaningless. It means success is contextual. And understanding that isn't pessimism, it's power. Because once you see the system, you can start playing a different game. You stop blaming yourself for invisible disadvantages, and you start creating leverage with what you do have. The truth is, success isn't a straight line. It's a web of effort, environment, timing, and luck. And pretending otherwise only keeps the game rigged. But what if there's a mindset shift that helps you reclaim control no matter where you started? That's where we go next. So, where does that leave us? If Outliers teaches us anything, it's this. Success isn't a solo act. It's not just about grind, mindset, or intelligence. It's about opportunity, and most of the time, that opportunity is invisible. But once you learn to see it, you stop blaming yourself, you stop feeling broken, and you start asking the right questions. Where am I positioned unfairly? Where do I have advantages I've been ignoring? And how can I design a system that works for me, not against me? Because here's the truth. You're not behind because you're incapable. You're behind because the starting line was never in the same place. Now, if this has opened your eyes, if you felt the emotional click, you need to take one step further. You've seen how systems shape success. But what if you could learn how to reshape your behavior within those systems, no matter where you started? That's exactly what James Clear's Atomic Habits is about. It's the perfect follow-up to this video. While Outliers explains why success is unfair, Atomic Habits shows you how to level the playing field through tiny, powerful changes. So here's your challenge. Watch our summary of Atomic Habits next. And in the comments, tell me, what's one invisible advantage or disadvantage you now realize you had growing up? Let's start a conversation no one else is having. And of course, if this changed how you see success, hit subscribe. Because next week, we're breaking down a book that shows you how to outthink 99% of people.